It's the year 2006, and archaeologists have been excavating the ancient Mayan city of Tikal in northern Guatemala for decades already. But despite all their efforts, this towering metropolis still holds many secrets. In fact, the explorers are about to enter one of the most mysterious pyramids in all of Central America. They haven't explored its interior just yet, and when they open up the tomb they find inside, they uncover something truly disturbing. For centuries, archaeologists have excavated the ruins of Tikal, and during those excavations, they discovered plenty of amazing things, including the largest pyramid in all of Mesoamerica, a huge ball court, and over 3,000 works of art. But while they uncovered quite a few of these treasures, other secrets have remained hidden away, literally beneath our feet. Take, for example, the North Acropolis, a large flat-topped pyramid that once stood around 230 feet tall. It was built around 750 AD by King Pasek Shan Kavil, who ruled over Tikal at the time. The pyramid held sacred significance since it marked the center of the city. That made it one of the most important structures in the entire kingdom. However, the explorers had little interest in uncovering the contents of the North Acropolis, mostly because they weren't exactly sure what was waiting for them inside. See, the ancient Mayans didn't leave behind any written records, so historians have no idea what types of rituals or ceremonies took place within the pyramid. Perhaps most importantly, they also had no idea if the pyramid even contained a tomb. This meant that they didn't know if the pyramid was filled with treasure, dangerous booby traps, or even corpses. That said, the explorers did discover one small hint that suggested there could be a secret chamber buried deep within the structure. They uncovered a staircase leading up to a room filled with offerings. However, they never finished excavating the area, so there was still a chance that the pyramid was empty. Finally, in 2015, the team decided it was time to uncover the secrets of the North Acropolis once and for all. So they assembled a crew and prepared to explore the pyramid. As soon as they opened up the tomb, they knew that the ancient Mayans were quite creative when it came to protecting their dead. The explorers found that someone had deliberately blocked the entrance with large stones. But that wasn't the only thing that surprised them. They soon realized that the tomb actually led to a burial chamber containing the remains of a very important person. Archaeologists uncovered a stone coffin in the middle of the room, and it was decorated with intricate designs and motifs. Each end of the coffin was designed to look like the head of a deity, which suggested that the individual buried within was royalty. But it seemed like whoever was buried here wasn't just any king. In fact, he was apparently so important that his face was chiseled off his stone coffin. This obviously raised some questions. Why was the king entombed without his face? What happened to his remains? And how did he die? At first glance, the explorers thought the face had simply eroded away over the centuries. However, they soon realized that erosion would explain why the craftsmen went to such great lengths to chisel away the features on the coffin. So instead, they concluded that the king's face was deliberately removed. As you can imagine, this was a rather unsettling discovery. It turned out that the explorers' worst fears were confirmed just moments later. You see, just below the coffin, the explorers found a number of human skulls. At first, they thought they might have belonged to sacrificial victims. But when they examined the bones more closely, they realized that two of the skulls were actually part of a jaguar's den. In other words, the explorers had stumbled upon a secret jaguar sanctuary. In total, they uncovered 8 jaguar skulls, as well as several statues and ornaments depicting jaguars. All told, the explorers spent 7 years carefully excavating the site. They discovered dozens of artifacts, including a stunning jade head pendant. However, none of these objects could compare with the strange dreams that began plaguing the explorers. You see, strange things began happening almost immediately after they entered the pyramid. One of the team members recalled vivid dreams of a man who had no face. He said the man would stand at the foot of his bed and stare at him, but he never said a word. Another member of the team began experiencing similar dreams. But in her case, the dream man would stand at the foot of her bed and slowly peel away her face. She woke up every morning, terrified that the man would reach out and touch her. As you might expect, the team members tried their best to ignore the dreams. After all, they had come to Tikal to make an important archaeological discovery, not listen to spooky bedtime stories. However, the dreams got progressively worse. In fact, the explorers started to suspect that the man in the dreams was the same as the faceless king they uncovered in the pyramid. One day, one of the team members woke up only to realize that someone had peeled away his own face. Fortunately, it was only a dream. But shortly thereafter, another member of the team wasn't so lucky. One morning, the team awoke to find one of their colleagues lying dead in his tent. When they pulled back the tent flap, they saw that someone had peeled away his face. And as if that wasn't bad enough, the explorers soon discovered that it wasn't just a dream. His real face was missing too. They immediately began searching the area, but the man's face was nowhere to be found. As they searched, the explorers noticed a pile of dirt near the victim's tent. It was a small pile, but something about it seemed a bit strange, so they decided to take a closer look. And that's when they made a horrifying discovery. Beneath the pile of dirt, they found a mask that had been crafted from stone. It looked like the missing king from the dreams, and it was missing the same features that were missing from the king's coffin. But that wasn't the only thing that connected the mask to the king. When the explorers brought the mask back to the pyramid, they realized that the facial features matched the design on the coffin perfectly. It became clear that the explorers hadn't merely stumbled upon a tomb. They had awakened an ancient curse. As you might imagine, the team packed up and left Tikal as soon as possible. Even though they had come so close to solving the mystery of the faceless king, they knew that they weren't dealing with a normal archaeological dig. Something supernatural was going on. Since then, the curse has continued to haunt the explorers. Some have claimed that they still have nightmares about the faceless king. Others say they occasionally hear his voice calling out to them in the middle of the night. Still, others say they see his spirit wandering through the jungle surrounding Tikal, desperately searching for his missing face. It's unknown what will happen to the curse of Tikal, but one thing is certain: it won't rest until the king is reunited with his face. Now it's time to make your voice heard. Which character was the most terrifying? The faceless king or the killer with the peeling hands? Let me know your thoughts. And while you're down there, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.
If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit the like button. It really helps the channel grow. Make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new video. Your support keeps this channel alive and lets us bring you even more creepy, mysterious content. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.